Hey, light workers and lurkers. This is Dreana Hathor. And today I want to talk about how having a mastered dark side has benefited me, how it has been a privilege for me personally. So I hear a lot about dark sides. Like a lot of people make it seem like it's something that's negative. Um some people make it seem like it's something that you only tap into to hurt others or whatever. But my master dark side is always like I use it or it's like a part of me basically. Like it's basically there just as much as my light side is. Like I'm balanced in light and dark. So the first way I'm gonna start at the beginning. Well, first I'll say I was created with a mastered dark side. When my soul was created, I was created to have already had a mastered dark side. So from the time that I've been born, this lifetime and everyone before now and everyone in the future, I'll have a mastered dark side. So with that being said, it has benefited me for my entire life, this lifetime. I was born into a karmic family where a lot of, negativity was going on, a lot of toxicity, a lot of dark things were going on. And my dark side helped me to be able to navigate it without being damaged. And one of the ways that it helped me is because I was able to basically protect myself because I was vulnerable. Of course, I'm a child, growing up. I was able to protect myself because I didn't let it affect me. Like I was able to basically exist in it and just observe. You know what I'm saying? It didn't phase me, the things that were going on around me in my life. So I guess you can kind of call it having a high tolerance for pain, having a high tolerance for emotional abuse, having a high tolerance for, mental abuse, having a high tolerance for being called names. Like none of that stuff, I never internalized it. It was like, okay, it didn't phase me. So that's one way that it has been a privilege in my life from the very beginning, this lifetime for as long as I can remember. I had a very, very dark childhood and was able to get through it pretty much unscathed. I was fearless. So I've always been fearless. I have been in situations where things have gotten dark, have gotten violent, all of that kind of stuff, and I never ever ever feared it. I just and was able to endure. Like I had a very high tolerance, until I was able to be old enough to not be so vulnerable. But I was fearless. Like I didn't fear, because a lot of time, a lot of wounds come from fear. A lot of childhood wounds come from fear. And so in my childhood, I was capable of protecting myself and others. So there was an incident that I can, a story that I can tell you about my mother trying to drown my sister. Now she was equally as abusive to both of us, but I had the courage and I wasn't fearful of her. So when she was trying to drown my sister, I pushed her, like, get off of her. You know what I'm saying? I was courageous enough to protect my sister as a child, you know what I'm saying, from harm. Now, my shadow and my light is balanced, but there are times and there have been times where I had to shift more into my dark side. So yeah, my light and dark are balanced, but there are times where I had to shift more into my dark side depending on who I'm dealing with in a situation, what it calls for. And that's another part of having a master dark side. You can control it. Because there are a lot of people that are in their dark, but they don't have like the discernment nor the control. They don't have the control of knowing like what's necessary. How dark do you need to get, depending on the situation. So that's another thing. That's another benefit or privilege of having a mastered dark side. Yeah, knowing how far to go with it. And having a mastered dark side, like going far with it, is essentially turning off your empathy, being able to go like cold. So there are people that are basically like more dark sided that are always, always, always cold, don't have empathy for others, like for nobody, whether they're good or bad or in the middle, like nowhere on the spectrum, they don't care. But I can pretty much match or be even darker than dark sided people. That's another benefit of having a mastered dark side. So yeah, I've come across people that, claim to be dark sided, but my fearlessness and the way I'm able to handle things, like my, it defeats them. And that's another thing, having a mastered dark side is a way that you can basically fight, spiritually, combat spiritual warfare. I'm very excellent at that, having a mastered dark side. And it's also a way to fight dark sided people, karmic people, demonic people, because you cannot fight dark with light. Despite what you think, despite what you hear, like you cannot fight dark with light. And if you're fearful, dark sided people, demonic people, um, they sense and feed off of your fear. So if you're fearful, they'll, attack you more. They'll spiritually attack you more. They'll feel more empowered to do things to you. Versus if you are not fearful and you're dark side and you can get even darker than them, that instills fear in them. It's an energetic exchange that happens when you're dealing with dark sided people. And another privilege of having, a master dark side is that I pretty much have clearance because I'm trusted to handle certain dark situations. There have been situations in my life where I have encountered, people trying to attack me spiritually and not just like with verbal abuse, physical stuff. I'm talking about stuff that's unseen. I'm talking about like with witchcraft and spell work. And I, being someone that has an evolved or mastered dark side, I'm an evolved being. I have clearance and I have power and I'm entrusted with my gifts. So if someone tries to attack me spiritually, I have the spiritual ranking to be able to handle them, as I see fit because my judgment is trusted, because I have control over my darkness, and because I'm not emotionally attached to it. So my intentions when doing it, my feelings are out of it. It's not coming from a malicious place. It's not coming from a vindictive place. It's actually like divine justice. The darkness that I have is divine darkness. So I'm able to move in ways that most people are incapable of. And if they could, I couldn't say that other people would be as responsible with the power that I have that I am. That's why they don't have it. They try to use other routes to try to get it. And an example of a routes is trying to use, spirits to fight their battles. But by me having already mastered darkness, and me being, having the powers that I have, the gifts that I have, like spirits don't even want to tangle with me. But that's like on the spiritual side of things, not the physical side. So basically, like when I explained to you what was going on in my childhood, that was basically, the physical, how it has benefited me in the physical realm, the 3D, the stuff that you can see. Now, I'm telling you how it affects me in the spirit realm, the stuff that you can't, the unseen. So I'm protected every which way, and I'm able to protect myself every which way. I can also easily dominate and defeat demons and demonic people. Like it's easy for me to do with my mastered dark side. I know how to dominate. It might be a Scorpio thing too. I'm a Scorpio. So a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, my Scorpio placement definitely could play a role in it. The fact that I can do it in a balanced way, in a fair way, and I'm able to discern like how far to go and, to what extent, and, be able to match people, match darkness so effortlessly is also could be attributed to my I'm born on the Scorpio Libra cusp, and I have a lot of Libra energy. So that's justice and, fairness and all that kind of stuff. So my birth chart and my birth placements definitely play a role in, me being able to responsibly wield my power. I instill fear into demons. You know what I'm saying? Very easily as well. And I can easily see darkness in others. Like if people are trying to manipulate, people are just no good, because I have a mastered dark side. I can easily see darkness in others. from the darkness, like the darkest of the darkness, or even like manipulation tactics, like just I can see the type of people that people are very easily because my dark side is mastered. So they can't get anything past me. Now, some stuff I'll let slide depending on how serious it is, you know what I'm saying? But if I see things, I speak out. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I need to punish them for it, you know. As long as it's not nothing, too bad or hurting people, you know. But if they're just, being petty and just stupid, I don't, bother with them. Because people, there are souls, demonic souls here that are here to teach people lessons. Now, some of them take shit too far, and they're the ones that I deal with. But outside of that, I discern who deserves it and who doesn't. But even if I see something sneaky or manipulative that's not physically harmful to people, I will call it out. I will call it out when I see it. Because I'm a light worker. I shed light on darkness because I can see it. That's my duty, amongst other things. But yeah. So yeah, those are the benefits of having a mastered dark side. And that is it. So let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, and share if you're on YouTube. Follow, like, and share if you're on TikTok. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.